win without this support.
That's right.
This is a wonderful day today, and it's come with a lot of thought and a lot of prayer.
Amen.
This is not an opportunity you take lightly. It's something that you really should know that you're prayerfully thought about, that you're supported, and that you're cared about. So I'd like to thank you all for joining me here today. I'm excited to see so many of you to come and to be with us. As a public servant, a council member, and a mayor, over the last 18 years, I know the challenges of leadership, and I know the difficulty of the times that we're in. Success is possible only if leaders are willing to do the work that's necessary. Right. I did that work in Trotwood.
Yes.
Amen.
Trotwood was dying. Trotwood was on life support.
Yes.
We were one step away. We had $475,000 in unencumbered reserves. That's all. One disaster away. But guess what? Today, Trotwood is well on its way and well positioned to move forward in a very, very positive way.
All right.
And that is because of tough decisions that I made, tough decisions that I held the staff to, and it was what was necessary with a can-do spirit to get things done. That's how we made it. That being said, I've successfully led our community through the attempts towards bankruptcy, towards a negative thought that we thought of ourselves, and got minds changed by believing in ourselves and believing in self-sufficiency. Because we had been believing the story and the negative report that says we can't and we can't do it. We can, and we did, and we proved that we could. That's the spirit that I'd like to bring to the Montgomery County Commission. It can be done, and it will be done. But it's going to take voices that are willing to stand up to bureaucracy, stand up to change, and stand up to making sure that all voices are at the table.
Amen.
That's what's not been here.
Right.
As a leader myself, I've never been involved in any of the discussions regarding the county and development throughout Montgomery County, not one. That's a problem. I want to spend the next few months talking to the mayors, talking to other leaders throughout Montgomery County as to the needs that the people have. Because again, we are tired of the taxes.
Yes.
We are tired of the burden of hearing it's going to be taken care of maybe the next 4 years. It's not. It's not until we're willing to do the tough things. And it was tough in Trotwood. Many of you know, but we did it. That's the spirit. That's the spirit that we bring here today. Regarding education, we have to stand and have standards that are high and expect the best for our children, expect the best for our people, without believing that government itself has to do it. We have to do the work as a people and as a community. Self-sufficiency is something that I preached about and I talked about because we were living off of grants and all kinds of things like that. You can't grow a community with things like that. You have to create the atmosphere for business to develop and happen in a natural way. And that's only done when you make the decisions to keep taxes low, to make sure that you hold a line on spending, and that you cut unnecessary spending. That was what we did, and that has now, again, positioned Trotwood where it has money in the bank now, and it is ready to move forward. And I'm sure many of you wonder, how is it that I find myself here? I found myself here because I had State Representative Rezabec, well, he's not state representative anymore, but he was my state representative, and he came to me and he said, what can I do to help you? And we began our friendship and our relationship even before that. But we began a relationship that said, I need to get to know him, this Democrat, that Republican. And we grew over time in our conversations to share a shared vision for the success of Trotwood. And one of the things he used to always say was, Trotwood's got to be proud of itself. It's got to speak up for itself. Montgomery County has got to be proud of itself. It's got to speak well of itself. But it can only do that with the leadership that makes those things possible. We went on from there to get so many things done that were positive. But what happened with Trotwood was Democrats and Republicans worked together with a shared vision for all. That's what has to be done. but someone has to be the leader. And for 20 years, individuals have been in place. They've had more than an opportunity to do so, and it has not happened. That's why I've made the move to work with people who understand that. They did it with me, and we'll continue to do it for the county. So I'm excited to be here today. Many of you know the story. The Democratic Party did not support me. As a matter of fact, they endorsed twice the person who's in place. It's okay, because I think I see what God is doing. He had to move me out of the way in that capacity to be able to serve in this capacity. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited that my Democratic friends and family who are here, I know that they're going to support me. They're going to support me where we're going. That matters to me. I could have done any other thing, any other way, but you know what? This is the way I believe is best for us. Because if I might speak frankly to my community, until we expect more, hold individuals accountable for more, we're going to continue to get what we've gotten. And that's nothing. Nothing. I will tell you, it has been because, and this is going to hurt some ears, of the Republican Party that Trotwood has moved in the direction it has moved in. And they made me pay for it on the Democratic Party side. I want to make them pay for that. I want to make them pay today by knowing that the people that we serve are smarter than that. They recognize that we need all people at the table. I don't disparage them. Thank you. I appreciate them for the work that they have done. But what I do know is, as a people, especially as a black community, we have got to stop allowing people to put a D behind something and saying go and vote for it when it's not doing anything for you. It is not. And I'm telling you the absolute truth that I know. And you know, if I'm a successful mayor and has done all of this and they wouldn't support me, but someone who never showed up for a candidate night, never answered any questions, they would support that. What are they saying for you? What are they saying to you? Please, let's wake up today and let's hold both parties accountable for leadership and for delivering to us the things that we need as a community. And as a county, I am excited to be able to bring our piece, my piece, the knowledge that I've had of 18 years in serving in a community that has struggled. I'm excited to bring that to the table, but also to lift up all the voices of all the people of the county. That matters to me, and I'm going to do that. I'm excited to do it with Kate. I absolutely love her energy and her fire. She brings so much to the table as the person that she is, but I'm also humbled and very thankful for Representative Plummer, for Mr. Fournier, for David Young, for Elder Scarce, and Pastor Washington. I mean, just so many people who have come alongside me and prayed for me and prayed with me as I made this move, because it was not easy to do. As you all know, and if you're an elected official, leaving a party is a big move. It is a bold move. But it's one that I'm saying needs to be done, and needs to be done open, because there is much talent that has left the Democratic Party and moved over to a place where they could serve freely and openly, especially in the areas of our judges, many of them. And it's unfortunate that they were not recognized for the good works that they did. I want to do work for everyone. I'm comfortable working with everyone, and I'm extremely excited to work with the Republican Party, who has always worked with me, and I sincerely thank you for the endorsement. And thank you.
Now the cat's out of the bag. Everybody knows you're running for county commission, but the big surprise is you're running as a Democrat.
Wait,
As a Republican.
Yes.
I'm sorry. And you've been a lifelong Democrat. Can you talk about the party process in Montgomery County a bit, from what you've seen from it?
Well, serving as a mayor of the city of Trotwood has been a nonpartisan position. Being a Democrat, born into it, not necessarily been someone that really put a lot of time into it, but my lifestyle and my family values had lined up with the Democratic belief. What I've learned over time, especially as being the mayor, the importance of working together to get things done, especially in a community that is nonpartisan. That was not something that was embraced by the party that I was a part of. And as a result, I was going to either be left with not having the ability to move beyond, or I was going to have to sit on the sideline and say, my public service career work is over. And the opportunity came to me to run this county commission. I feel that there is definitely a need for a new voice, and I took that opportunity. So, that's pretty much where I am with this today. It was not an easy decision to make because I know the smear that people put on you, and it was something that people have said for the longest. Oh, she's a Republican, she's a Republican. I said I did my job so well, people thought I was a Republican, but it was because I removed myself personally from the process and tried to work the job as mayor. And I think I did it effectively. I can see Trotwood in a much, much better position than it was, and it will continue in that way if people understand that importance. I'm not so sure that they will, but I know the importance of working together, especially in a Republican state. You must engage and work with those others that are able to help you.
Now let's be clear here. When we say a Republican state or Democrat and Republican, a majority of voters take part in neither's primaries and don't and list themselves as undecided or unclassified or something else.
Sure.
So when people say, we're stuck with a two-party system, and the D's and the R's, and talking about putting R's and D's on Supreme Court justice races and everything else, can you talk to that part of the problem here, the division and leaving out the majority of the people?
Well, I probably can't speak specifically to any other race other than county commission, but what I will say, it is important that all leaders learn to work together. You're talking about a community, or you're talking about a county where there are various voices. And if you leave anyone out, you're leaving out a part of the whole. And my belief is you've got to include everyone at the table. And I've been successful by doing that. I know it's hard work. It's so much easier if you just talk about what's important to you, but it doesn't work that way in reality. It doesn't work that way.
Do you think the division between Republicans and Democrats is healthy in this country at this point?
Currently, I do not. I do not think it's healthy at all. And I think it's paying a huge price for the citizen each and every day because they put us in office. They expect something of us. And they're not getting it when we're fighting, bickering back and forth at each other. We have got to sit down and make the best possible decisions for all. And that's not easy, but that's the work of the politician. And there used to be skilled individuals that understood that. It doesn't seem to be that way anymore. It's a win-lose, yours or mine. That has to change because our people are suffering terribly because of it.
The county commission's been 3 Democrats for a long time. Supposing you will become just one voice of the 3, do you still feel like you'll be able to make a difference?
I really do. I really do. Because again, the few times that I have been engaged with the current leadership in place, they are one voice. I've not seen anything different in the 3 of them. I think that this is the time that all voices are at the table. The recognition that we need to see something that looks more like Montgomery County than what we're looking at. And for 20 years, I've seen certain areas of Montgomery County suffer. I've seen certain areas completely grow and blossom and bloom. We need voices at the table that recognize the challenge of areas that have had challenges and be there to support all of Montgomery County by recognizing that this vision has to be for everyone.
So this seat's a little different, and it's more like a mayor's seat. You're running specifically against one person.
Correct.
I don't hear you say that in your statement. Who are you running against exactly?
I will be running against Debbie Lieberman.
Okay. And can you tell us what makes you different than Debbie Lieberman?
Well, I think she's a very nice lady. For the times that I've been around her, I've never seen anything other than a pleasant person. But again, she represents one of 3 individuals that are the absolute same. And I think that, again, I will bring a different voice, a different tone. I will bring a different understanding of Montgomery County. And I think that is what is needed and has been needed for some time. I think if it had happened earlier, and I think you probably already know, there has never been one elected African American to the county commission. There have been people appointed, but none elected. I think that says something. And I think it says, again, with the hold that has been in place, there is a need for another opportunity for individuals to the plate. And I appreciate the Republican Party for, number one, respecting me and respecting the work that I've done with them to change Trotwood.
So Dan Foley, on his way out of the commission, was pushing for moves towards unigov and regional government, and it didn't go very well, and it sort of died on the vine. Do you support moves towards regionalism and regional government, or changes in the way that we organize this county that hasn't really grown in 30 or 40 years?
Yeah, I can't say so much because I don't know all of his program. I recall when it was being considered. I think any thought of changing the way government moves forward needs to be a decision made by the people. And I think that, again, is not something that I'm going to speak into, but it's something that I would consider, I would look at, and I would expect the citizens to be able to look at. And it would be their call because it's their county.
Of the communities in Montgomery County, which do you think have been the most successful at, taking care of their people? Which communities, and which, we've got townships, we've got villages, we've got cities, and which ones have failed their communities the most, or which ones have been failed by the county the most?
Well, up until my leadership, I'll speak to Trotwood because I can't tell you about all the others. I know that Trotwood was being failed because I found it hard to believe that there were 3 Democrats that were on the county leadership and very little direction was made. I spent probably the first year after becoming mayor explaining to people that we weren't going to be a mall anymore because that was what we were labeled as. And then the county made a decision that logistics was going to be the focused area for the city of Trotwood. Without understanding of how they were going to help us to do that, that was the title that was listed upon the city of Trotwood. So I know for a fact that Trotwood experienced many challenges from without and from within, with the loss of GM, Delphi, Chrysler, all of those jobs, because many of those people who came to Trotwood after the Jewish Federation left the city of Trotwood, that's who we were. We were working class individuals. When those jobs were lost, it completely changed the identity and the ability for the people to recognize who they were anymore. And what I got busy doing was explaining to them, we're going to be something different. We're going to be something better. And that's what I want to do for Montgomery County, to explain that it takes all of us together to be able to do things to make us successful and to get us to the place that we all are unified in one vision and one view of this county and not just certain particular areas.
What's the one thing in Trotwood you're most proud of in your tenure here?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but what's the one thing that really, makes you smile, makes you think, this is going to last, this works, this made a difference to our citizens? What are you most proud of?
I am most proud today of having brought a grocery store to the city of Trotwood. It may seem like a small thing for most people, but when you don't have a grocery store in your community, it says something about how you feel about yourself. And our community felt negatively because they couldn't understand why they had to go and spend their money other places to buy food, something that all of us need. So having this grocery store, by simply going into GFS that has been in our community 30 or 40 years and asking them to invest in itself and to invest in our community, they listened to my word. It didn't take a consultant to do it. It didn't take some outside staffing to do it. It took me, a citizen, me, the mayor, asking them to come and be a bigger part of our community, to fill that gap and that need for us. And they did it. And now we have a $7.5 million grocery store in our community that no one saw coming, not even my city manager. So I'm just extremely proud of that. And if I could leave Trotwood with anything, is that continue to build upon what we've worked on. Be willing to understand the people, and to do the work, but hold all leaders accountable. Not allowing people to give you a card and tell you this is who you should vote for. You need to look at that card and you need to say, what has this person done? Is this person worthy of my vote? Because your vote is precious. And beyond that, we need our citizens to know how important it is to come out and vote. There's been so much difficulty in looking at the numbers of people who are electors of a community and seeing how few are showing up at election time. I think that speaks to people being disenchanted in government. And it's because we're not taking the necessary stands to be able to do the necessary work that makes a difference in people's lives. That's what I want to bring to Montgomery County. That's the gift that I think that I have, the ability to be a voice for those that don't have a voice. And it is necessary in these days and times with the few resources that are there.
You've been very accessible as the mayor of Trotwood. I think your social media presence has been, really big. You've got a whole big area that you're not really been involved with. I mean, there's rural parts of Montgomery County that a lot of people forget about. There's, townships that are far away and everything else. How do you plan on reaching out and getting to know those people in the next 9 months, 10 months?
Sure. I'm a person who makes friends very easily. And I plan on reaching out to my other fellow elected officials as well as friends and allowing them to take me out and allowing me to meet those individuals that I need to meet. Hearing those voices and making myself, again, extremely accessible through my media and any other way that I can. That's the work. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
These campaigns can get very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think we have the best politicians money can buy. We've had some candidates who said they won't spend, a lot. Are you planning on spending the farm here? Are you planning on?
I'm a hard worker.
Okay.
I'm a hard worker, David. So I'm the kind of person that it will take some money, but it will take the elbow grease that it takes to do this kind of work. I'm used to working hard. I've done nothing but work hard all my life. So whatever is necessary for fundraising, I'm going to do. But at the end of the day, you can count on me basically doing the work that's necessary to win the hearts and the minds of the people of Montgomery County. It's extremely important that people see that someone has taken something that was considered a nothing and turned it into something, again, that many people have an attachment for. So I'm going to have to get out of here.
Okay.
Good? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Sure.
much. I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.